Hey guys, what's going on? Back again. Happy New Year. It is 2023. We survived 2022. We got out. So I think how I want to start this year with this video is kind of just recapping where I am. I think I set up this channel probably about a little over a year ago. I think it was November 2021. And the whole idea when I set up the channel was obviously a way to track my progress, a way to, figure it out in front of an audience, make myself accountable, because if I have an audience watching me, if I have people watching what I'm doing, I'm accountable. And that was the idea, kind of, having almost a portfolio through the use of videos with what I'm doing, where I've gone, how I've grown, have I grown, and looking over the last year and a little bit of my videos, it's interesting, because I started this with that whole idea in my mind of going from, I think it was like $85 to $1 million in 2 years. And a year down the line, yes, I've made some money. I think probably I would say maybe a couple grand, maybe up to $4,000 or $5,000 I've made in the last year, so not much at all. But I've learned a lot. I've definitely learned a lot. Do I think it's possible to go from 85 to $1 million in a year? I do think so, but I think the point is you would have to risk an awful lot to do that. And I think as much as I would love to, make that much money fast, I think what the last year has shown me is that the amount you make at the end of the year is not as important as the amount you lose. I think if you can just cut your losses and really get your management sorted, your risk management, how you manage your trades, how you get in, how you get out, I think that's more important than anything, because I think if you can just slowly move forward all the time, which it is the slogan of my channel, always moving forward, and I think that's the key. I think set yourself a goal, but don't be unrealistic about it. Set yourself somewhere that you would like to be, and think about other forms of investment and how much you could get out of that. For example, where else would you be investing your money? If you were keeping your money in a bank, what would your interest rate be? If you were, there's a lot of other investments that maybe you wouldn't have been able to afford, but just getting an idea of what you would be getting from other places and how trading stacks up. How does it compare? I definitely think it's possible to make $1 million in a year, but if you're starting with nothing, I think I wouldn't say it's impossible, because I think it all comes down to luck. You would have to risk an awful lot to get there, and I think maybe 50% of people would get there, 50% won't, maybe less, maybe like 30%, 20% might get there, 70 or 80% won't. I think that's probably more realistic, because the problem is the more you risk, the harder it is to stay on top mentally. Keeping your head straight, keeping yourself in the game, keeping yourself motivated. The more you risk, the more you stand to lose. And if you do lose a lot, it's difficult. It's difficult to get up and keep going, So I've kind of seen how I have grown over the last year, and maybe I haven't earned a lot in terms of finance, but I've earned a lot in terms of experience in the market. I've earned a lot in terms of finding out how I can deal with loss, finding out how I deal with loss and how I can move forward, and what can I cope with, what can I not cope with, what do I find difficult. And that over the last year and a bit has kind of made me grow as a trader and make me understand that, don't be unrealistic with your goals. Set yourself a target that is realistic. So for me, like, by the end of this year, I'm not looking at, you know, can I make $1 million? I would be happy with that by the end of this year, making enough to basically step over to trading full time. And that, I think, is realistic. I think I can get to a point where trading is making more than my current full-time job. And that is realistic, you know, whatever it is, as long as I'm making more per month than I currently am, so that I can, by the end of the year, say, okay, I'm stepping over full-time into trading, and this is going to be my career. This is where I'm headed. That for me is a realistic goal, and if I can achieve that, I will be happy. I will be very happy with that. So, look, I'm not saying that going from the 85 to $1 million is impossible. And I think maybe once I've got to a point where I have built up a nice account size and I have an account that is making my wages, making my salary, and you know, I'm living comfortable, then maybe I can say, okay, I'm going to take $85 because that's nothing. I'm risking nothing to start off with. And then go and say, okay, I'm going to do that challenge again. So I think when you've got a lot, it's easier to you know, be more risky and risk more, because it doesn't matter as much, you know. If you've not got much to play with and you're risking a lot, you're almost risking everything. So I think it very much depends on where you're starting. If you're starting with pretty much nothing, like I said, you're risking everything, and that makes it difficult, because that changes the whole psychology of it, you know. If you lose everything, how would you feel, you know? And if I went into it and I did well and I had a big loss, I would look at it like I started 85, that's what I risked, $85 from whatever I was taking, you know, would be like nothing. Let's say by the end of the year I can grow an account to over 100K, you know, and then I'm taking $85. It's such a small percentage of what I've earned that I'm like, you know what, I'm going to keep trading this. It's going to still make me my income. This is just a little side project. So this $85 doesn't matter, you know, and whatever I earn from that doesn't matter. I can go full on. Then I think it's more realistic and more achievable. I think it's still doable, and you know, I hope one day I can do it. But I think, you know, I've got to reassess my goals. My goal for now is to just get to a point that trading is my full-time thing. And I have come a long way in terms of strategy, and you guys have seen it. My strategy has chopped and changed quite a lot. I think I have gone between only 3 strategies over the last year and a bit. I started with the order block trading, and I still very much like that, and I still utilize that information, you know. The order block is kind of a form of smart concept. There's a lot of smart concepts, smart money concept in that. There's a lot of you know, order blocks, which also is, you could look at that as kind of support and resistance in a way. You can also look at that as supply and demand, and then there's also a lot of, you know, when you're trading order blocks, you're looking at gaps in the market, you're looking at all the smart money things. So that's always in my mind, and because I've done that, it's there. So when I'm trading other strategies, I have a better idea of where market is and where possibly is going, you know. After that, I went to the EMA strategy, which I still like, but the EMA strategy can have a very fat tail. What I mean by that is you can have 2-3 weeks of, you know, moving forward 5% every week, 5, 10, 15% in 3 weeks. And then you can have 1 or 2 weeks where you get stuck into a very, very strong trend. Something happens, you know, Ukraine, what happened last year affected the markets big time, and you suddenly find yourself stuck in a trend that you just cannot get out of. And even though you say, okay, I'm willing to go to 40%, if you hit that 40%, you've essentially made 15-20% and you're losing 40. So I find that strategy can very much be a strategy that, you know, you could trade for 2 years and not really move anywhere. And the thing that is difficult with that strategy is when you have a big loss, you're cutting your starting lot size right down. So your loss is very difficult to get back, you know, and that just starts really affecting the psychology. So as you're moving forward, it's great, you have a big loss, suddenly you're struggling to climb back up that mountain, you know. For example, let's say you were climbing a very steep hill and you fall down 2 times as far as you've gone up, and you're already tired, and then you've got to try and climb back up, and it's a lot more difficult, you know. So I ended up then going to look at a form of trading which is like a hedging strategy, which worked well. The problem with that is, no, it wasn't a problem. You were trading less often. It was very effective. It did very well, and I was always moving forward. But there were some times that, you know, nothing was happening for quite a while. So I've now kind of brought the two together. So I have my EMA, and then when the EMA starts getting into a little bit of trouble, I kind of switch on to the hedging. And I have found this works very well. So this is how I will be moving forward with my live account this year. See how it goes. If you guys followed my last few videos at the end of last year, you would have known that I was in these 2 trades. I'm still in them. I've been in this trade for a month now. Obviously December is not the best, so you can see all of this was December, nothing happening. So I've closed a few trades and I've actually gained a bit. I think I was sitting at about eight and a bit $1,000 my balance. I'm currently sitting at 10,639. I'm still, you know, fighting through this drawdown. The thing with this strategy is that there's always going to be drawdown. Now, this USD CHF order initially opened because I forgot to close a pending order, and it was way higher than I would be trading it normally. So I'm almost out of it. I've got to a point where I closed off with some profit and I opened up a new sell. This sell is now, I'm waiting for this sell to come to about there, and then I can close and I'm out of that. And I think once I get to that and I'm out, I can potentially close the Euro USD as well. The Euro USD is not doing too badly. You know, we are only in 3 positions, and the lot sizes are within, you know, what I would be trading. And I would also normally only be trading 1 pair at a time. So this has been a good test, you know, kind of, you know, managing these 2 together. I opened a new sell. It just tapped in, which happens, you know. These are the ones that you want them to kind of not tap in, then push up. With that push up there, if this didn't tap, I would have been out of this trade. But it is what it is, you know, you've got to just take that. I could close now and I would still be sitting in profit. I started this account at $5,000. I think it was like beginning of November maybe. So in 2 months, and considering that one of the months was December, if I close right now, I'm sitting at $3,000 profit, which is not bad at all. That's, I would say, close, what, like 60% increase in the account over 2 months. Pretty much 1 month, because nothing happened in December. I think the whole of December went through and I didn't touch anything. I've only started closing since we've reopened in Jan, because the market is actually finally moving. So essentially you could say $3,000 in a month and a bit maybe, on a $5,000 account. That's not bad, I'll take that. I'm not going to close now. I'm going to see how this goes, because I would like, the whole point of this strategy is to, you know, work your way back to a kind of break even, so that I think once I close, I'd like to be sitting at around 9,500, if possible, as close to the 10K as possible. So that's the goal. We'll see where we go with that. And then started talking then about the prop farming. I'm pushing big into that. You guys know that from the last video. I've already started a 10K account on Tuesday, and we have passed. I started a My Forex Funds account, so maybe I can show you guys that quickly. Okay, so I'm in my My Forex Funds account. If I go to Account Analyzer, there we go. You can see I've hit $808 profit. This is literally, I think, 2 days of trading, and this is using that new set file. So, you know, so far so good. So I want to see, you know, where we are trading history. I'm not 100% sure with the My Forex Funds. I think it's a 5-day minimum, so I think I've got to still trade 2 days, just opening and closing 0.25. I'll just open and close it, so it's the same lot size. Trading days, what am I on here? I think we currently have, according to this, I think it's 2 trading days, because this first day there was nothing on there. So 2 days. I've still got to trade 3 days. So today, tomorrow, and Friday, and then maybe that is but I think today's already counted, so we might end up going into Monday, which sucks because I'd like to start on Monday. But the cool thing about the community that we're with, people are often saying, you know, they started Monday, they still don't have a trade open yet. So if that's the case by Tuesday, I could still start the next part of the challenge, because it doesn't matter. Even if I'd started the Monday, I probably still would not be in a trade based on the set file. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah, that's gone very well. I kind of wish I had turned my 100K account on. I'm only going to start trading that next Monday. That I'm going to be looking for 4K profit. That's the set file I'm going to be putting it on. And we'll see if I get to 4K. I think that'll be about 2K in profit total. I will take that profit and then start again. And then I am starting a few more next week as well. So I am kind of going very, very aggressive from next week. I am looking at taking pretty much a new 100K account. It won't necessarily be every week. So let me just show you what I did do on. Okay, so I did a calendar where I basically took all the data from the Plutus back test, and I said, okay, how would it have gone if I started a new challenge and was quite aggressive? So as you can see here, January started challenge 1, and then the next Monday started challenge 2. I didn't start the next week because I was just waiting for these to pass. I passed challenge 2 phase 1, passed challenge 1 phase 1, ended up with 2 live accounts after January. So ended up spending $1,000 in the first month with nothing back. Obviously, that's how it goes. February ended up getting a first payout from the second account, getting my next payout, and this is pushing for the full 10% profit. So 8,500 is 8,000 profit that you get from the account, and then you get your 500 back. So always that first payout is plus the extra 500 because you get that refund. So would have finished the first month with 17 grand. I mean, that is not bad at all. And it just gets better from here. So this, bearing in mind that 2022 for this particular set file was very good. I think it had like an 88% success rate, so you know, did phenomenally well. We ended up making 16 grand in March. We then made 9,100 in April. May we would have made 32 grand, so it was a big one. We had 3 accounts running, and the max I had at any point was 4 accounts, so I could have still pushed for the 5th account and be very aggressive and maybe have 1 account just looking for like the 2K target. So just leave that running to just keep getting in those funds to essentially kind of have a small little fund, which is your 5th account, which is, you know, just getting in the funds to keep taking challenges. On June we would have made 8.8, July 32K, August 16.5, September 48K would have been a big month, October 15.5, November 32. So for the whole year, if we were trading aggressively and only looking for that 10% target, we would have finished the year making $226,900, and we would have still been holding 4 live accounts. So that just kind of got me thinking, you know, I have to just play this out and see how it goes this year. I have to go aggro. I have to just push it. I will start next week with a new 100K, and I'm just going to push it, and see where this takes me. I'd love to essentially have 4 or 5 accounts all running at the same time. Maybe have one of them running passive, and then the other 2, as I get 200Ks, push them into a 200K account. 200, push them into 200. So essentially I have one of my licenses trading 200, the other license trading 200, and that could be on one prop firm, because I think the max they allow is 400K. So we have 2 accounts on one prop firm, then we have a small account on another one, which is just, you know, getting that passive income. But yeah, so, you know, I'm going to go super aggro. Then I could essentially open again on another platform. So if I'm with True Forex Funds, get up to the 400K, that'll be amazing. Then I move over to My Forex Funds. If I can get up to the 400K, that'll be amazing. Can you imagine if I had 2 prop firms maxed out at 400K and I'm getting 10% a month? You're looking at 40K $32,000 profit per month per prop firm. I mean, couldn't ask for more than that, could you? So going to be pushing full aggro on the prop farming this year, see where that takes me. And yeah, I think, you know, if we have some success in that, I'm hoping that it brings some more of you guys over to the old farming ground, because I think there's a lot of potential in that. So yeah, that's just what this video is about, guys, giving you a little update, letting you see where I am. If I go to this account, so I have a very small live account also on this where I'm growing, and I've actually started with another company that does sort of daily trades and stuff. I haven't started with them yet. I'm just trading my strategy on this. As you can see, I started with $150. Balance is 167, so I've already closed 167 profit. My equity is 25, so I'm holding a bit of loss, but again, that's fine because this is my strategy. I'm hedging it now, and we see where that goes. This essentially, I'm waiting to come down to the 1.045, and then as we have a turnaround, or I'll see where it turns around. Even if it gets to this and we have a turnaround, I can close the 3 cells in profit, open up a new buy, and then we just need to have a little bit of a push up. As long as I'm anywhere over that $155, $160, I can close, you know. So we'll see where that one goes. Very small account, but that's more kind of just, you know, small growth, and see where that takes us. And then if I go to this is that 10K account I was talking about with my forex funds. As you can see there, the balance 10,800. So essentially we've already passed that. We just need to open up a few small trades in the next 3 days. And I might even open one on a crypto on Saturday, because I think that counts, and maybe that will then give us our 5 days and we can start Monday. So that's another way I'm looking at playing it. So, you know, so far a good start to the year. I kind of wish maybe I'd gone with either starting my my 100K account on this, but you know, I was a little bit, you know, the first week in Jan you're always like not sure about, but you know, it paid off. So if I can get this account to the pass, I'll have 2 10K accounts. I'm looking at maybe putting those together to have a 20K, and then yeah, we'll see. Well, I actually I can't do that because they're on separate prop firms, so I can't do that. But that's where I am, guys. I will keep you guys updated with everything I do. I might even start doing some live sessions, maybe, you know, going into the market for maybe an hour, be live. There might not be any action, but then we'll just talk about all sorts of crap. So looking forward to the year. But yeah, I just wanted to do a little recap on where I am, where I've come from, and you know, how I look at playing it forward. So I will catch you guys very soon, and looking forward to 2023. Let's see where this all takes us. Anyway, I hope you guys also have a fantastic year, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye for now.